Hello everyone, it's I McLeod, and today, please forgive me, for I have sinned. I gave in to the temptation and decided to play some LYRILUSC, and I found the results rather disappointing, to say the least. So what's LYRILUSC all about? I'm sure this is your first time seeing the deck. After all, it's not like this deck has been everywhere since the release of the main box, right? So this is a deck that aims to make an assembled Nightingale with as many materials as possible in order to attack your opponent directly for lethal. And that's basically this deck's only game plan. Just kidding, of course it can also make Ensemble Robin in order to bounce monsters that your opponent would special summons back to their hand. I don't know why I bugged that, that's just something that happened to me. You can also make Recital Starling in order to boost your Assembled Nightingale and give it even more attack, or make Promenade Thrush, which can get rid of back row and boost your Assembled Nightingale to give it even more attack, so you can kill your opponent even more quickly. As far as the main deck monsters are concerned, we are playing one Sapphire Swallow. One is more than enough. I feel like it's an extender, it's not really a starter. You can really start your plays with it, unlike Beryl Canary, which is a starter thanks to the skill, but I only have 2, so I'm only playing 2 and not about to spend more gems to get the 3rd copy, because it's not worth it, it just isn't. 3 copies of Cobalt Sparrow are what I'm coping with. Normally you would play 2 Cobalt Sparrow and a 3rd Beryl Canary, but I only have the 2 Beryl Canaries as previously established, so I'm gonna play 3 Cobalt Sparrow instead, because whatever. I'm so playing 3 Turquoise Warbler, which is also a starter with the skill. So like with the skill, you have access to 6 starters total, unless you're me and you'll have access to 5 starters. And then Celestine Wagtail is also a pretty good card, which serves our back row, including LYRILUSC Birdcall, which can be a starter or an extender, and LYRILUSC Bird Sanctuary, which can be a way to give our Assembled Nightingale even more materials and can kill even more opponents. I can't believe I spent this long without talking about this skill, which is completely absurd. It just foolishes a monster for free, and then if you get Book of Moon, you just get to replace the monster that got Book of Moon for free also. Isn't this fair and balanced? Duel Links game design is peak. I'm so glad that this deck released with no restrictions whatsoever, but a card like Magispector Tornado had to be limited 1. This is really good game design here, Konami. You really have your priorities straight. For the rest of the cards, we're very susceptible to back row, so we're playing 3 Forbidden Lances, and we hate Monster Disruption, so we're playing 3 Book of Eclipse. And also I'm playing Beaufort, which is like literally never come up, and I hate this card, and I'm probably gonna cut it, because it's just bad, it's just bad. I'm considering cutting it and putting maybe a DD Crow would be a more interesting inclusion here. I think that'd be something that'd do a little bit, considering you can search it with the Cobalt Sparrow and the Recital Starling. And then in the extra deck, I didn't farm Lulu to level 35 yet, so I have 2 Recital Starlings, so instead I decided to put Ojama Knight and Ojama King, so that any rocket opponent that I face using Silver Rocket Dragon to get rid of my Assembled Nightingale can at least have a good laugh seeing these 2 doofuses in my extra deck. But realistically, you don't really need more than like 2 copies of each of these monsters, except for the ones that you only have 1 copy of, which is the case for Assembled Nightingale. Wowee! Can you tell that I hate this game right now? I really genuinely hate playing this game right now. And I really genuinely hate playing this deck, as you're about to see in the following replays. This replay here is going to be against Phantom Knight, a deck that doesn't even exist anymore, but nobody told my opponent, and I am going first. So, naturally, they're not going to have a good time at all, because they're playing Phantom Knight, and I am playing an actually good deck. Look at this opening hand. Double Beryl Canary, double Birdcall. It doesn't matter, it just works, because the skill stage just works. Beryl Canary revives the Cobalt Sparrow, with the incredible effect of my skill. Cobalt Sparrow gets me a Sapphire Swallow, and I put 2 and 2 together into an Assembled Nightingale. Wow, isn't that super fun and interesting? Beryl Canary and a Cobalt Sparrow are gonna make this thing untargetable and control switchable, and then I'm stupid, so I use Birdcall to get a Celestine Wagtail. Maybe I should have gotten the 2nd Cobalt Sparrow instead to make sure that the monster that I was making would be untargetable. But then I just get to special the Beryl Canary for free. Celestine Wagtail is going to special itself, and that's the Sapphire Swallow effect. I got all of these stupid birds confused. And it's going to get me a Bird Sanctuary. I like having Bird Sanctuary because it's a free draw that can potentially be one of my good cards. So, I'm just going to make an Ensemble Robin. This one is susceptible to being targeted. I don't think this is too important in the PK matchup, considering they can't literally play Book of Eclipse, so it doesn't matter. But I don't think this is a deck that really plays Book of Moon or stuff like that anymore. The one thing I need to be concerned about is the Trap Raiders Revolution, which I can just use the Assembler Nightingale to prevent my thing from being destroyed by it. So I'm gonna get the Bullfault. I'm so glad that I put this card in my deck. What a stupid looking dragon. My opponent gonna click yellow button. Foolish one, get the Raiders Unbreakable Mind. That's not Raiders Revolution, that's Raiders Unbreakable Mind. Raiders Revolution is the Kurosaki scale. Anyway, they're gonna get back the Tone scale. I'm not activating this yet because I think it's funnier to do it once they've committed to making an Xyz play. Like this one, they decide to go for Levia, the Sea Dragon, which puts this guy back in its place, but they still have follow-up with the Stained Greaves banishing itself to special a Silent Boot, a second Silent Boot special summoning itself into a Breaksword, which is, once again, gonna get bounced. So that sucks, and my opponent is just gonna concede. Wow, isn't this super fun that this happened? And this year replay is going to be against, that's right, Wind Witches. Just kidding, my opponent is playing Time Thieves, an actually decent deck instead of Wind Witches. What are Wind Witches gonna do in this metagame? Oh look, I've made Crystal Wing and Diamond Bell. Cool, here's Book of Eclipse. Anyway, this hand is pretty decent actually. So they're just gonna do the classic Time Thief combo of, oh, this is gonna take a while, isn't it? I guess we're stuck here forever. Isn't it fun that the Duel Links timer will just not increase, even though we've gotten more and more intricate combo decks that just, like, can easily take more than 2, maybe 3 minutes to perform that combo. They're gonna make Nightmare here, which I think is really good. Nightmare Pass. One of the plays of all time. Anyway, special Turquoise Warbler before activating the skill. I am going to try and special the Cobalt Sparrow. It's going to get flipped down. And then I just get to summon a Cobalt Sparrow, but this one too is going to get flipped down after getting me a Didicro. Never mind, it's not going to get flipped down. I'm going to deactivate the Bird Call to pitch a Celestine Wagtail. And then I'm going to replace, that kind of misplayed this one, playing this one like an asshole. I'm going to make a Promenade Thrush. Which, okay, just untargetable, and then it's gonna revive and attach the Celestine Warbler, but it's gonna get dunked on. Now I can activate this scale to pitch a second Cobalt Canary, and use Beryl Canary, Cobalt Sparrow, Cobalt Canary. All of these birds' names are the same. Listen, I used the unswitched guy to revive the untarget guy, and then make Assembled Nightingale with 4 whole 100 attack. I don't want to see this animation. I've seen it enough. I hate this deck. 600 attack, sorry. I can also attack the Celestine Wagtail, so that's a total of 800 attack. Oh no! My opponent has a Book of Eclipse. I get to flip 2 monsters and draw 2 cards. Isn't this wonderful? Anyway, they get to activate this skill to get a Basil Ship. Because they drew Startup, so they're gonna normal the Basil Ship. They get to special the Adjuster. Did they pitch for Adjuster previously? What they pitch? I don't think... No, because they... No, they didn't reach for the Adjuster. I think it was a mistake. Anyway, I'm going to make Redoer into Vespernato. And this is where things get really funny, because I can just detach Celestine Wagtail to make sure that I take no damage and my monsters can be destroyed. And I can use the Celestine Wagtail in order to reattach it. But first I do Promenade Thrush to get a 1 backer. And I just get to punch for 600 every turn. Promenade Thrush is going to boost it to 1200, which is actually going to do a little bit of damage. I keep a lance in hand and a lance on the field just in case. This Bullfort really useful as always. Once again, the Assembled Nightingale detaching the Wagtail. Isn't this super fun? Isn't this a really fun duel? I bet my opponent's having like tons of fun. I bet this is the most fun, especially as they realize that I'm not playing traps in my deck, so they can't just natively use the effect of the Redoer to try and get rid of my thing. They're gonna have to draw into a flyback, which they haven't searched or anything. Oh no, wait, they have the retrograde for the Bird Sanctuary. Oh no. What a shame. Oh god. Anyway, just makes another Promenade Thrush is the play here. So Promenade Thrush is gonna get rid of the last back row. And then this is like 10 times lethal. I don't even need to worry about it, because what else are they gonna do? Wasn't this a fun game, everyone? Wasn't this super fun? I bet you thought it was amazingly fun. If you're interested in playing this deck, and why wouldn't you? It's incredibly cheap to build, and you don't even... I think you can get away with only playing one bird call, so as long as you have a couple of barrel canaries. Here are some more options for you to consider. Whereof Thou can get you any level 1 monster that you need. Maybe it gets you the Sapphire Swallow so you can then extend your combos after having a mediocre normal summon. Swallow's Nest is another good way of dodging back row that would be otherwise problematic to you. King Kabia also works with your skill, which is really very funny. And Just the Comfort is just a free rank 1 material that is also one of the funniest cards you can be playing. Now, as I've mentioned before, of course, DD Crow is a really good card that you can search or maybe even use this material. And Kurikara is a card that I don't have, but is also really good. Speaking of cards that I don't have, Forbidden Droplet is both a great asset for this deck to use and the greatest silver bullet against this deck that you better hope that you do not encounter. So that's the deck. Wow! Is it fun to play? No, I really don't think it is. But is it powerful and does it get results? Yes. And this is the deck that everyone is going to be prepared going into this stage 2 of this KC Cup? Also yes. And it sucks. It just sucks so much. This and Star Seros being like the top 2 best decks at the moment is incredibly depressing because they're, in my opinion, really skill-less click yellow button type of decks that, compared to a deck like Boral Link, which has a lot more restrictions and does require a little bit of thinking, but is also really explosive and also should get nerfed. I think like all 3 of these decks have pushed the boundaries of what scale should be allowed to do and of how bad a game's design can be. Anyway, that'll be it for this video. Do you plan on playing stage 2 of the KC Cup? I don't. I'm gonna do literally anything else, and if the following ban list doesn't take care of this deck, chances are that I'm not gonna be playing Duel Links anymore, at least not the speed duel portion. Rush Duel's looking kinda interesting with more Cyber Dragon support coming in, so maybe that'll be enough to keep me playing this game, but otherwise, you know, speed duels are just cooked if this is the kind of like scale design and archetypal power level that we keep getting, that just create these uninteractive, uninteresting strategies that are zero fun to play with or against. Man, I miss all Duel Links. Thank you once again for watching this video. Thank you in particular to Dingus, Childish Boy, Zero, Zinnia, Jimmy, and Yannick for their donations on Coffee. And yeah, like I said, the following ban list better take care of all of this crap, or I'm not putting with it anymore. I've reached my limits. Thank you once again for watching this video. Take care everyone, I will see you all next time.